Just feel from your heart. Do you really have experienced God's love? Because we must have experienced human love. But how does the soul feel when the soul experiences God's love? And how many times have you experienced? How many moments have you spent in God's love? You know, there are beautiful stories of the story of Meera. Mirabai was a very, very beautiful soul. At a very young age, she saw a wedding procession going. And that moment, something deeply touched her heart. She asked her mother, what was that? And her mother said, it was a wedding procession. And that moment, something deeply touched her heart. And she decided, not just decided, she felt that she had a deep bond with God. And from then, at that very young age, she got wed to God in her heart. And she could only think about Him. She could only think about God. She could only see God. And she brought God into her every action. Not just only when she sat in the prayer that she remembered God. He was always around her. And of course, I'm using as English language, I'm referring to God as He. But you can actually also think about she. No worries. So she felt God around her, with her. When she ate, when she slept, when she walked, when she sang, when she danced, in every of her action, she was completely immersed in God's love. And people who saw her, they said she was completely mad. But she didn't bother because only she knew the love, what she was experiencing. Right? Because this was not something physical that she experienced momentary, but it was a spiritual love, a love that was so infinite, a love that is so eternal, a love that completely drowns the soul, takes the soul into another dimension, a love that completely liberates the soul. And so she was, because she was in such love, she would just sing and dance because every time she would feel Him. Right. And so the same she experienced from God too, because it cannot be one way, no. When I remember, when I experience, when I get in touch with God to experience that love, I'm experiencing His love in an unlimited way that I don't want to skip. I don't want to lose it. Right? That was her love. And finally, at one point, when her husband was too tired of her because she was just in love with God more than him. And so at that point, he said, okay, then go to God. Take this poison. But the magic was that when she looked at the poison, she still saw God in love. But it's not that he was in that poison, but that love was in her eyes, in her heart. And so as she was looking at it, she just drank it, but nothing happened to her. The power of love, God's protection towards her. And so that's one story that I very closely read and felt Mirabai's life and her love for God. But I'm sure there must be so many such in the world who had that genuine, that deep love, that genuine love for God. Not the love based on my desires. I want. No. But the love that was so unconditional, so real. And so do you feel such love for God? And do you experience the same from God? Or do you only love him when you want something? When you need something?
As I sit quietly, I allow my mind to become still. I watch my thoughts come into my mind, and then I gently let them go. I create space, openness, and stillness in my mind. Slowly, I become aware of my true nature. I am a being of light. I, the point of light, shine brightly in the center of my forehead. I sink deeply into that awareness and connect to my own essence of love. I feel love bubble up from deep inside the core of my being. As I sit absorbed in that love, I allow all heaviness to fall away. I become light and completely free. This inner love carries me upward beyond the confines of this physical world. I, the soul, emerge into a world of endless light. I am surrounded by love. I am totally still. I feel drawn into the lap of the eternal being of love. I am deeply connected to the Supreme Soul, the brightest star of love. In that connection, all needs for material things, for appreciation or acknowledgement, for praise or acceptance simply fall away. These desires for temporary happiness and love that I have felt onto so tightly for so long, I now realize are actually the opposite of love. In contrast to the limits of these desires, the true love of the Supreme Being is infinite and unconditional. Unconditional love, endless love flows to me from the Supreme. The Divine One sees me in my truest form, my deepest and most complete nature. He surrounds me in His light. All darkness, anything that is the opposite of love, is gently and completely washed away in this pure, divine, unconditional love. And as I slowly return to the awareness of the physical world around me, I bring with me the security and confidence of knowing that I am unconditionally, eternally, and completely loved. Om Shanti.